I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me.
They say it's all about the money. I say it's all about the passion. Whether it comes to getting money or it comes to this rapping, I'ma put it together. Pick up the pieces when it fall down. I'ma put it together. Forever in my own lane, putting it down.
Welcome everyone to your soon-to-be favorite reaction channel by me, JK Reacts. Today's reaction video comes from a channel called Johnny Arnett, and the video is called How Good Was Gary Payton Really? Gary Payton was one of my favorite NBA players growing up. The man's a legend. He was a 9-time All-NBA defensive first team. Only 3 other players have been able to accomplish that feat. The guy on the screen right here, number 24, Kobe Bean Bryant, was a 9-time All-Defensive first team. Michael Jordan and Kevin Garnett. Well, hope you enjoy the video and hopefully you learn a thing or two. And if I miss anything about Gary Payton and my reaction, feel free to leave it in the comments. Enjoy, guys. Sweet turnaround.
Gary Dwayne Payton, also known as the Glove for his ability to cover his opponents. According to basketball legend and Hall of Famer Gail Goodrich, Payton is probably the most complete guard the league has ever seen. Gary was drafted in 1990 with the 2nd overall pick by the Seattle Supersonics.
The funny thing about that 2nd overall pick by the Sonics, Gary Payton's known for wearing number 20, but coincidentally, his rookie season in Seattle, he wore number 2. Kind of funny side note.
That he built his legendary legacy. Unfortunately, he isn't often remembered and honored as often as he should be, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that his greatest days were with an organization that no longer exists. I mean, it kind of does. I understand that the Oklahoma City Thunder used to be the Seattle Supersonics, but the reality is they now play in a different city with a new fan base under a different name.
Quick note, coming up, depending on when you see this, or it might have already happened, somewhere around March 23rd, the NBA is going to have a meeting to see if an expansion team will be able to reside in Seattle and in Las Vegas. If Seattle does get an NBA team again, the name Seattle Supersonics, according to the original sale from Schultz to Clay Bennett, will go back to Seattle, along with all the team history, including the Larry O'Brien NBA Finals trophy from 1979. So if that's the case, technically the Thunder would only have 1 title versus 2.
It just isn't going to be reflected upon as much as it would have been if the organization was still in Seattle. Regardless, today we're taking a moment to reflect on one of the greats of the game and answer the question of just how good was Gary Payton really?
Look at
Let's
that
start
toughness.
from the beginning. Payton had expectations upon entering the NBA, but he was a bit of a late bloomer. In his rookie campaign, he played 27 minutes a game and averaged just 7.2 points, 6.4 assists, and 3 rebounds on 45%
Those are better rookie numbers than Bronny James.
shooting. The following year, his numbers were roughly the same, while just slightly increasing his scoring to about 9 points a game. It wasn't until he was 25 years old and entering his 4th year in the league that Payton began to break out as an elite player, both offensively and defensively. With Payton coming into his own, alongside of the 6'10 slashing...
This guy right here, Sean Kemp, and Gary Payton combined. If you're familiar with the Los Angeles Clippers era known as Lob City with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, these two were the original Lob City. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp have both said in interviews that anytime they were running on a fast break, Kemp would let out a little chirp or something, and Gary knew exactly where to get him the ball every time while he was in the air.
Or forward Sean Kemp, the Sonics soon became an elite basketball team. Before Blake Griffin and Chris Paul were being called Lob City for the Los Angeles Clippers, that's a title that could have belonged to the Payton and Kemp Seattle Supersonics, with Kemp often being on the receiving end of some exciting lob passes from Payton. Not only was this group an exciting fast break team under Payton's lead, but they were also incredibly sound and elite
Nice
defensively.
save.
With this formula, the Sonics went deep into the playoffs several times, like in 1993 when they came just short of the NBA Finals, losing to Charles Barkley's Phoenix Suns in Game 7 of the West Finals.
You can't hate on Seattle for that. Charles Barkley was the NBA MVP that season.
Best team, though, was easily the 95-96 Supersonics, who were the second best team defensively that season and finished with a 64-18.
This is my favorite Sonics team of all time. You got the UW Husky, Detlef Schrempf. You got the North Carolina big man, Sam Perkins, who was on the same team as Michael Jordan. You got the Rain Man, Sean Kemp from Trinity Valley Community College. You got Mr. Sonic, Nate McMillan, who was the starting point guard until Gary Payton showed up. You got number 33 shooting guard Hersey Hawkins. And this guy right here, Eric Snow, he was on 3 NBA Finals teams. The first one with the 96 Sonics. The second one was with the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers, where him and the Sixers and Allen Iverson lost in 5 games to the Lakers. And then the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers and eventual NBA champion with the Miami Heat, Gary Payton, all coached by this man, George Karl.
Through the regular season. The only thing wrong with this group was their timing, because the 95-96 Bulls were on their 72-10 season and are still often considered the greatest team of all time.
Yep.
Remember I said the Sonics were the second best team defensively in 96? Well, they were only behind the 72-10 Bulls that season. Regardless of the fact that they were facing the greatest team of all time in the finals, they still put up a fantastic fight, pushing the Bulls to 6 games. Leading that charge was Gary Payton, who took on the assignment of taking on the world's greatest player in that series, and Gary slowed down MJ like no one else could. Jordan averaged just 27 points that series on a notable...
Some people debate whether or not the 72-10 96 Bulls was the best team of all time, or the 73-9 Warriors. No offense to Steph Curry and his crew, but those 73-9 Warriors lost in the finals. The 72-10 Bulls didn't. But as far as Gary Payton slowing down Michael Jordan, look at this. 27.3 points a game on 41.5% shooting. That is a rarity for Michael Jordan. He averaged over 30 points a game in all other finals and over 50% shooting from the field. So GP as his primary defender, that tells you how good arguably the greatest scorer and greatest player in NBA history did against him, and how well Gary Payton played.
Inefficient 41.5% shooting. Sure, 27 points a game might seem like a lot, but the truth is, in every other NBA Finals Jordan was in, he averaged comfortably over 30 points per game, while usually shooting above 50% from the field. I get that MJ still won the championship and was still the Finals MVP, but with that being said, no one has ever defended Michael Jordan on the biggest stage as well as Gary Payton did, and that's regardless of the fact that Gary is a couple inches shorter than Jordan. That's a testament to Gary's defense overall that season, as he was the 1996 Defensive Player of the Year. In all of NBA history, Gary Payton is the only point guard to ever win the Defensive Player of the Year award. Gary would also let you hear
strip on Big Sabonis, Demetrius's dad,
about it as he shut you down, as he's often recognized as one of the greatest trash talkers in NBA history. During Payton's best stretch of his career, from 1993 to 2003, he averaged 20.8 points, 7.9 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.1 steals on 47% shooting from the field, while usually being the best defensive player on the floor. During that
those 20.8 points a game. And some people might think, well, that's not a lot of points for a starter in the NBA. Well, you also got to think on what time of NBA history he played in. In Gary Payton's era, for example, let's just say Kobe Bryant's 81-point game. The NBA average for points scored per game that season was around 95.6 points per game, compared to Bam Adebayo's recent 83-point game. The NBA scoring average per game is around 115 or so. So just add in a little context to that 20.8.
10-year stretch, he was an all-star 9 out of those 10 years, and he was first team all-defense 9 out of those 10 years, meaning that he was the best defender at his position for nearly a decade
Another
straight.
great point guard.
His 9 first-team
And Mighty
all-defense
Mouse.
selections is the most in NBA history, tied with 3 other players. It's also worth mentioning that load management was not a thing for Gary Payton. Despite the fact that he was often their leading scorer and facilitator while shutting down the opponent's best player just about every night, Payton still never
Behind the
took any
back,
voluntary
spin
breaks.
pass.
In his 17-year career,
Between
he
the
played in
legs.
1,335 games and only missed a grand total of 27 games due to injury. He was a flat-out baller, hard worker, and an Iron Man of a
Shook
player.
him up.
It wasn't until
Sorry,
the
Jeff.
2005-2006 season with the Miami Heat that Gary Payton finally secured that elusive championship as a part of the Shaq and Wade Miami Heat.
Too
Payton
small,
had reduced
Jason
numbers
Terry.
at that point of his career, but people often forget that he was still a key contributing role player to that championship team. Now that his career is all said and done, Payton is 33rd on the NBA's all-time scoring list, with Jerry West, Allen Iverson, and Oscar Robertson being the only point guards ahead of him on that list. He's 9th all-time on the NBA's assist list, and he's 4th all-time in steals. So just how good was Gary Payton really? Well, honestly, it just depends on how much you value the defensive end of the floor, which is literally half of the game. Sure, Gary was pretty good on the offense.
Don't get me wrong. There's something great about watching an offensive player work. But I love a tough, gritty defensive player. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to take your best and shut you down. What you going to do about it? Just the hard-nosed mentality. Hold up. What? Look at this pause. Is he about to step on Jason Kidd's foot or what? Anyways, let's get back to the video. We only have a little bit left. Thank you guys for sticking around for this long.
At both scoring and facilitating, but in terms of defense, Payton is easily the greatest point guard of all time on that end of the floor. Let me know in the comments section where you rank Gary Payton among the greatest point guards of all time. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Well, that's the end of the video, guys. Like I said a little while ago, thank you for sticking around for this long. And if you enjoyed this content and you want more, like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll see my next video drop. On a serious note, thank you for watching this video, and your guys' support is meaning a lot to me. If you have any more video ideas, be sure to comment them down below, and I'll link the original video if you want to hear this without my commentary in the description. El Medio de Norte, JK Reacts, signing out. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.